because her husband fell in love with the flower store owner and wanted a divorce. So the wife decided to meet the woman in person the next day and took the opportunity to meet with her on the pretext of selling flowers, saying that she was getting divorced tomorrow and hoped that the florist would deliver the flowers herself, and that she would be celebrating her divorce in a hotel that needed to be decorated with flowers. Kate was obviously surprised to meet a special customer. It was the first time she'd ever met a couple who were celebrating a divorce. So the next day, Kate went to the hotel with flowers to serve the customer and arranged the room with beautiful flowers. Just as the woman was about to leave, the customer asked her to be a witness to his divorce because he knew her husband. When she heard this, Kate realized what was going on. So the customer in front of her was Jack's wife. They had met at the hospital. Jack was invited to the hotel by his wife to talk about the divorce, only to find out that it was a banquet. So the man was furious. He didn't expect his wife to bring her woman here to humiliate him. So Jack immediately told Kate to leave. But Kate, knowing she was wrong, knelt in front of Annie and begged for forgiveness. Jack couldn't bear to see the woman he loved suffer. So without hesitation, he pulled Kate out of the hotel. Annie saw her husband's behavior and screamed at them to stop. Then she came up to them and slapped the men twice. This time she wouldn't pester her husband to save the marriage. If she wanted a divorce so badly, she was willing to let them have it. The woman left the hotel room in style, but as soon as she left the room, Annie was so angry that she was trembling. The man she had loved for 10 years had never seen his face until today. In the days to come, Jack could finally live the life he wanted and even promised Kate's daughter that he would be by her side every day and never be separated from her and be a good father to her. But the man didn't know that his son was crying because his classmates taunted him that his parents were getting a divorce. These days, the child has a vague feeling that his parents are not getting along. He was worried that they were really getting divorced as others said, and told her son to eat well and not to worry that his father would be back by the end of the week. Hearing his mom's promise, then the boy began to eat. Annie promised her husband that she would go to get the divorce papers this weekend, but the child's recent condition made her hesitate. After her son went to school, Jack rushed back to deliver the divorce settlement to his wife. He was willing to transfer the house into the woman's name. He was also willing to pay monthly child support. At first, Annie agreed with the man, but when she saw her husband leaving, she couldn't accept it. She came after him and begged Jack not to divorce him, but to give him a family for the sake of the children. Even if she thought it was all her fault, she was willing to agree to anything as long as there was no divorce. But Annie's pleas were just a joke. How can a man who has changed his heart be willing to turn back? He knelt in front of his wife and begged her not to go back on her word. This matter is really his own fault. Even if they divorced, he would still be a good father to his son because Jack insisted on divorce. Annie didn't try to hold him back any longer. The next day, she went to the civil office with her man to get a divorce. 10 years of marriage ended when her husband changed his mind. After they left the civil office, they became strangers. They agreed to keep their son a secret for the time being and got the divorce papers and was in tears on the way. The man she had loved for 10 years had finally left her behind.